It's okay. We're going to get started here. I'm going to wait for the YouTube thing to start. Texas already tuned in? All right. Well, I don't know who tuned in from Texas. Well, thank you so very much. That's weird. Typically, nobody from Texas shows up until I go hit play, and then I listen to myself, and that'll be the Texas connection. I'm not used to someone from Texas tuning in so quickly. So, all right, hang on. Let me get here. Do a search for Theology Central. All right, here we go. Why? I don't know why that's not what we want. Here we are. Someone from Texas tuning in. So now go to setting. Oh, wait, where's the... Oh, there's the thing. Okay, community moderation. Let's turn off the chat. All right, we got that all fixed. Good to go. Let's close out YouTube. Now we've gotten that fixed. Now let's go back here. Get a link for sermon audio. Let me save that to notes so that I have it in case I want to do a broadcast about it. Then let's open this. I know you're getting a play-by-play description and not a very good one. And now I go listen. And how do we sound? Go. Let me save that to notes so that I... All right. I think we're good. All right. I think we're okay. Doing a refresh. All right. North Carolina, thank you so much for tuning in. And Texas is, well, again, I don't know who tuned in from Texas, but whoever it is, thank you so very much. And we'll wait just a couple of minutes and we'll get started. Just a couple of little housekeeping notes for those who are interested. If you go look at the last 4 or 5 messages I've uploaded, and if you look at the description, those are now, the descriptions are different than the descriptions I originally put there. Because now, sermon audio, when you upload the message, it will ask you if you want AI basically to write you a description of what's in the message. So I've been using that I did it for the last 5 because it's a new feature they've offered. So you upload the message, AI reviews everything you say in the message, and then it creates the description. So if you look on sermon audio, for the last 3, 4, 5 messages that I've done, those descriptions now are put there by AI, and which is good. I don't even have to write a description anymore for sermon audio. Now, I always have a description already made. You'll see there's already a description in the metadata for this live broadcast, but sermon audio will create a separate description if I want to use theirs, and AI will do so. The one I uploaded was created by AI anyway, so whether it's the AI sermon audio is using or my AI ChatGPT bot, either way, AI is doing everything. I don't even know why I even do a broadcast anymore, but yeah, it's a new feature. It's kind of cool. I kind of like it. You know, it makes things simpler. It makes things easier. And it may make the description. You know what? Oh, wow. If all the... How many times... I did not even think about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not even think about this. We have something... Okay, this is kind of big news. I didn't even wrap my mind around it. How many times have we... Well, I mean, if you've been listening... we do the random sermon reviews, and I pick a sermon because I'm like, oh, this is going to cover Isaiah 41, or this is going to cover John 14. And then we get all the way through the sermon and it doesn't cover anything. If all of those pastors are now using the AI feature that sermon audio offers, AI will write a description, and the description now will tell me it covers that or it doesn't cover that. That could make my life that could make my life easier. All right. So we'll have to see. I'm very interested to see if that works. That could be that new feature. I'm looking forward to that new feature. But in the meantime, we got things to do. You hear this, ladies and gentlemen? The billboard. Hot 100, hot off the presses. Is my prediction right on what was going to be number one? We're about to find out, and we're about to listen. Well, we're going to not listen to a song. I can't play the song, but we're about to listen or talk about another Song of the Summer candidate for our Song of the Summer 2025 series, where we're listening to what's going on in the culture and then discussing it. All right, so we will do all of that here in. Okay, and that's across the room. That was AI talking to me. Right, so all right, here we go. All right, I think we can do this. I think I've got everything ready. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I got everything set up. The streaming bit rate is good. So what do I need? What do I need here? I need that, and I need all of my notes, which are legion. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay, we go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Looking at our world from a theological perspective, this is the Theology Central Podcast, making theology central.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's get in the car, roll down the window, because it's time to listen to another song in our Song of the Summer 2025 series. And this is a series where I say, let's listen to another song, but we can't actually listen to them because, copyright issues, right? We can't play the song, but we can definitely read the lyrics, discuss the lyrics, and see what the Song of the Summer we're going to be talking about now has to say to us. And we're going to do that right after I say, good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, June the 19th, 2025. It is currently 3:12 p.m. Central Time, and I'm coming to you live from the Theology Central studio, located right here in Abilene, Texas. Now, here in West Texas at 3:12, did I say 3? Whatever time I said, 3:12 p.m. Central Time. We probably don't want to go for a Sunday afternoon, a Thursday afternoon summer drive with the windows down, because it's really, 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 really hot in Texas. But maybe later tonight we could take the drive. That's why a lot of these episodes I like to do late at night. But we're going to be doing this one in the afternoon, in the middle of the afternoon, and we will have to do a little bit of pretending maybe in a few minutes. But the question that is on everyone's mind. I know you have been walking around on pen and needles. You've been asking your family, so what is the number one song? He told us that he was predicting that a certain song was going to be number one on the Billboard charts, but he never came back to tell us if he got it right. What is the number one song? And of course, you didn't even think about looking it up. You were just waiting and waiting. When is he going to do another episode? Well, calm down. Calm down. I'm here to tell you. I have it right here. The Billboard Hot 100 chart. Number one. What did I predict, everyone? I predicted Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter would be the number one song, and it is. And we've already covered it, all right? I covered it before it entered the chart. I covered it before it even debuted on the chart, and I told you that I was predicting it to be number one. Are you impressed? Okay, it really is not that impressive. Anyone who knows anything about music knew that Sabrina Carpenter's new single was going to be number one. I mean, there was not much mystery to that. I was pretty confident. So, Man-Child, we've already covered it. We've already discussed it. So what does that mean? That means we're going to do something different. All right. Now, if we look at the chart, let me go back and pull up the chart here. Hang on. Let's pull up the chart. Now, just so that you know, for full transparency, this right here is not the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It's just a piece of paper, but it sounds dramatic. The actual chart is just right here on my iPad, all right? All right, here are the songs currently ruling the world. Number one, Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter, all right? Number two, hanging on at number 2. I mean, it was number 1 for a long time, and it's dropped to number 2 now. In fact, it's been on the chart for 18 weeks. Ordinary by Alex Warren. And then number 3, What I Want, Morgan Wallen featuring Tate McRae. And guess what? We already reviewed that song as well. So we reviewed Man-Child, we reviewed Ordinary by Alex Warren, and we reviewed What I Want by Morgan Wallen and featuring Tate McRae. So the top 3 songs we have discussed in great detail. See? I'm helping you keep up with what's going on in the world. Number 4 is Just in Case by Morgan Wallen. We have not reviewed that. Number 5 is Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA. We have discussed that one as well, so we've covered that. Number 6, I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen. Don't think we've covered that one. Number 7, it's been on the chart for 61 weeks, so I haven't been really tempted to cover it because it's been there for so long, it seems a little outdated. A bar song, Tipsy by Shabuzi, all right? And then Die With a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Number 9, Lose Control by Teddy Swims. And then number 10, Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. So there's some songs there we have not covered, and I'm not going to cover them right now. And the reason I'm not going to cover them right now is because I am picking a song that has been my favorite song for summer 2025. I think I can clearly say, I think it would be fair. Now, there's a lot of songs right now that I love. I mean, there always is. I mean, I love music so much. There's rarely a song I don't at least strongly like. And I think I pretty much say I love every song that comes out. So there's very few that I don't love or like. Okay. But this one, every time it comes on, I get excited. Now, to be fully transparent, for I don't know how many times, 10 times, 15, 20 times I heard it, it was the music that I love the music, I love the vibe, I love the feeling, I loved it. And then when I started really listening to what was being said, I'm like, wow, the lyrics doesn't have, the music has, it just gives you kind of a really positive, uplifting vibe. But the lyrics are one of total emotional distress. So there's a little bit of dissonance between the lyrics and the song, and we will talk about that feature of the song. But I think here's what we need to do, all right? Now, I know I messed up the time 15 different ways, but right now on this Thursday, 3:18 p.m. Central Time, I can't really imagine for this song us going to get in the car and having a Sunday afternoon drive when it's 750 degrees outside. No, this is a late night song. I think this is a late night song. So I need you to turn on your imagination. It's Thursday night. Maybe it's early Friday morning. Maybe it's midnight. Maybe it's 1 a.m. Just know it's late. So it's late. So if we say late, it's got to be before midnight because then it becomes really early. You get the idea. It's late. It's late. All right. You picturing that? And it's not just the kind of late where the sun has gone down. Oh, no. We need a better vibe. All right. So it's not just late. It's not just the late where the sun has gone down, but it's the kind of late where everything starts to feel hollow. Everything starts to feel empty. Everything starts to feel maybe meaningless. Has anyone ever experienced that kind of late? As someone who is up late all the time, there's time. I mean, come on. Now, some of you may not be able to relate to this, but think about just it's late, midnight, you're alone, maybe sitting in a dark room, maybe got a pair of headphones on, listening to music. And all of a sudden that night, because I always, at least for me, late night just makes all of my emotions and all of those internal feelings and thought, they just come pouring out. They just come, you can feel everything. The daytime, all of that is kept at bay by noise and activity and distraction. But when the lights go down and it gets late, then There's nothing to hold back all of those feelings and emotions and thought, and they can come pouring out. So it's that kind of late where you can feel the emotions. Maybe for our scenario, we stopped driving. Now, I know I'm not supposed to do this for a Christian broadcast, but shh, don't tell anybody. We walked into a bar. Shh. Okay. We're in the far outskirts of town. Nobody's going to know who you are. Nobody's going to tell anybody. All right? The bar lights are a blur. The jukebox. I know we're really dating ourselves now. The music that starts playing. There's something about it. Kind of gives you a good feeling. And somewhere in the haze of that feeling, that emotion, there's Sally. Do you see her? Do you see Sally? Do you see her? Come on, do you see her? She's standing right over there. Look. That's Sally. Do you see Sally? She's not a metaphor. Maybe she's an ideal. Or maybe she's not even that. Maybe she's not a metaphor. Maybe she's not an ideal. Let's say she's not either of those. Let's say she's the person that you look across the bar and see and meet when you're running from something. She's the person you meet when you're running from something. Let's go with that idea. And you're the one she sees, she finds when she needs to feel something, even if it's only for one night. So you're in the bar. It's late. You've got those emotions. You look across the bar, and there's Sally. We're not going to turn her into a metaphor at this point. We're not going to turn her into an ideal. We're gonna say she's a person that you meet when you're running from something. Maybe you're trying to get away from that hollow feeling. You're trying to get away from that feeling of vanity, meaningless. You're looking for something. And when she's in the bar and she sees you, whatever your name is, you can add your name, whatever your name is, and she sees you and she finds you when she needs to feel something, even if it's only for a night. Because, well, in our illustration, tonight, I know it's actually in the middle of the day, but tonight, we're going to dive into the song, Sally, When the Wine Runs Out by Role Model. Now, I feel the song is a song that kind of masquerades maybe like it's a love story, but I think maybe it's about something much deeper. And of course, when it comes to song interpretation, I try my best to give you ideas, but I always try to leave it a little bit open because I'm trying to get you involved in, using your hermeneutical skills to interpret a song. If we can't interpret the sound of the culture and interpreting lyrics, then I don't know why we even think we can interpret the eternal word of God. Okay. But that's a whole different subject. So I think it's it's a song that maybe masquerades as a love story, but I think it's really about something much deeper. I think maybe in this song, Sally, When the Wine Runs Out by Role Model, I think maybe we're going to hear the ache of emotional impermanence. Whoa, that's a big word or a big phrase. The ache, there's ache, pain, longing of emotional, and our emotions of something that's impermanence. It doesn't last. We all know things don't last, right? We all know how impermanent the only thing that's permanent, the only thing that's unchanging, the only thing that is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega and the first and the last is God. That's everything else. It's not permanent. It doesn't matter what it is. People die. People leave. Things fall apart. Everything just is going to vanish like vapor. And I think the song maybe catches the ache of that emotional impermanence. Maybe the song is going to capture the fear of being just good enough for a moment. You're good enough for right now. You're good enough for now. Nah, not so much later. Maybe the song is going to capture the fear of being good enough for the moment and not worth sticking around for. And maybe there's some theology buried beneath it all. The kind that wonders whether does anyone really stay when the wine runs out? Sally, when the wine runs out, does anyone really stick around when the wine runs out? Does anyone really stick around when the wine runs out? Do they? See, obviously, it's not even, I don't think, this I can be dogmatic. This is not a song just about Sally, even though her name is in the title. It's about all the empty places you and I try to fill with people, with wine, and with nights that end too early or way too late. So, pour something, or don't. Now, I'm not calling for you to partake in an adult beverage, but you may want to partake in something. So pour something, settle in, because the goal here is not to judge. It's about being honest about what we really, 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 really want, and what we're terrified that maybe we will never, 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 ever, 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 ever have. Let's talk about Sally when the wine runs out. What do you think? Now, I'm picking this again, not because it's in the top 10, picking it because I love this song. I just love this song. And let me make it very clear. We're listening to the song of the summer 2025. We're listening to what's being played in the culture, all right? These are not Christian songs. These are not claiming to be Christian songs, okay? So I've had a few people contact, well, why aren't you reviewing Christian songs? Because we're listening to what the culture is saying, in contrast with our series on the lectionary, listening to what the early church is saying, all in the exact same time period, right? Between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day. That was the whole goal. I gave an explanation for both series. Sometimes when you get an email, you're like, did anybody go back and listen to what I actually said in the introduction? So you ready? Now, the first question we may have is, well, is this really relevant? I mean, you're just picking a song you like. I mean, why waste time with it? Well, the song is having, even though it came out in 2024, it's having kind of a viral revival for a number of reasons, okay? You see, at concerts, Role Model, he regularly calls out, "Where's my Sally tonight?" And concert will say, "Where's my Sally tonight?" He usually does this during the bridge, and then he will invite fans or even celebrity guests to come on stage to dance. Hey, where's my Sally tonight? And it all becomes fun, right? Now, these improv moments have become a fan favorite on his tour. And guess what? When something is a fan favorite, what does everyone bring to a concert in 2025? They bring their phones and they record those moments. And then where do they post them? They post them on TikTok. They post them on social media platforms. And guess what that does? Boom! The song is popular again. Originally, the song wasn't even released as a single. All right. But it has resonated in short form video content where its catchy hook and emotionally raw lyrics provide potent background for relatable and stormy montages on TikTok and other social media sites. It ranks currently in the top 40 for US pop radio. And are you ready for this? It has, as of Thursday, June the 19th, 2025, it has now surpassed 67 million streams on Spotify alone. 67 million. That's just Spotify alone. So I think it's relevant to talk about, all right? And they released a deluxe album, and doing a deluxe album, they refocused on Sally When the Wine Runs Out as kind of like, this is the song that's getting everyone's attention. Now, if you like the song, check out the deluxe album now, okay? Of course, which is good marketing and smart from a music perspective. So that's why we're talking about Sally. That's why we're talking about Sally When the Wine Runs Out. So now you're ready to break down these lyrics? I kind of want to just read through them all, but what I typically do, I'll break it down. I have the lyrics broken down. And just for full transparency, I have AI help me with a little bit of this. I will give it my ideas and say, are my ideas correct? And then we fight for 30 minutes and then we finally figure it out. All right, so I'm just gonna go with kind of how AI cites the lyrics, and then we'll kind of break it down that way. And then after we go through that, then I'll just read the lyrics maybe straight through and then maybe offer some additional comments. Are you ready? Well, I met Sally at a late night dive bar. Okay, just so that you know, I almost just wanted to start going all in on the song, but I have to slow down. I got to read the lyrics, not try to partially sing the lyrics, because that would not make for good podcast episode, because, well, you would be saying, no, don't do that. Okay, and I understand. But that's why I was trying to use kind of a bar illustration at the beginning, all right? That's why I was doing that. So the song begins, well, I met Sally, there's our Sally, at a late night dive bar. She don't dance, but she downs her drinks. Now, immediately, I think we can say that the song places us where? In a dim, in my mind, gritty, emotionally raw environment. There's Sally. She may not be dancing, but she's downing her drink. It's a late night dive bar. So you just have the image. There's not a lot of people there, right? There's not a lot, but there's Sally. We see Sally. I think the dive bar kind of gives us the idea of a place for escape. You're looking for something, you're there, you know? And I think Sally is kind of introduced and kind of a funny way, not really in a romantic way. There she is, she's not dancing, she's not seductive, she's just sitting there downing her drinks. I think that's kind of interesting, right? It's not like, whoa, I saw Sally and she could move. No, she's just sitting there downing her drinks. That kind of caught my attention in the lyrics. There's kind of like a little bit of detachment, and maybe she's kind of rough around the edges, maybe. She doesn't dance, but maybe, just maybe, the idea that she's downing her drink is that she's trying to numb something as well. Like, you're there because maybe you're trying to escape something, and she's there because she's looking for something, and she's downing the drinks to numb whatever she's feeling. Maybe? The drinks come easy for Sally. Vulnerability, maybe not so much. The song continues. Heard through a friend, she's a born-again wild card. There's that idea. There's the kind of a religious idea, born again. And we've seen that in a lot of the songs we've reviewed, how a lot of pop songs love religious phrases because I think they capture some emotional depth. Because they have that a religious connotation, but uses the idea of born again wild card. She was telling me wild things. Well, she was telling me wild things. Now that line, born again wild card, I think it's crucial from this point. It's I think it's because it's bringing in the religious language, all right? But there's immediately, at least I see it. I don't know if everyone else would see it, but when I see she's a born again wild card, I think it immediately captures my attention. But I think it's kind of ironic. She isn't renewed in a spiritual sense. It's just that she's unpredictable, erratic, and emotionally dangerous. She's a wild card. You don't know what she's going to get. She's not born again in a sense of spiritually, but she's born again in a sense that she has this wild card, this unpredictable. There's an element of life in her. The wild things aren't just stories. I think there's signals, though. It's kind of giving a little hint. She's a born-again wild card. She was telling me wild things. She was telling me wild things. They're not just stories. I think this is a signal of she's maybe a little unstable. Not necessarily like mentally unstable, but she's just an unstable because she's so wild. Maybe there's a little bit of self-sabotage there. And she may come across as charming, but you don't really know what you're going to get. Maybe that's the Sally that we just met in the dive bar. Now, verse 2 starts this way: lives down the street past the 7-Eleven, just close enough that I spent the night. Now, that's interesting because 7-Eleven is a convenience store, right? She's close enough that I spent the night. I think that this line here carries the idea that he just met her, right? And it sounds like he's already spending the night. So it moves quick. He walks into the dive bar. There's Sally. Boom, right? She's downing the drinks. She's wild. She's all of these things. And next thing you know, he's already spending the night. So, but it's the idea. It lives down the street past the 7-Eleven, just close enough that I spent the night. The 7-Eleven is a convenience store. It's close. So I think the relationship is being defined by convenience. At least my feeling is being defined by convenience, proximity, and immediacy. I think the thing that's describing Sally and now he sees her is this is going to be convenient. It's good. It's about proximity. He's in the dive bar. That's who he sees. Proximity. She's close by, and immediacy. It's now. It's immediate. It's now. It's not like I got to sit in the dive bar for 14 hours hoping to meet someone. No, he walks in. He sees her. Boom. They're back at her place. It's convenient. There's proximity. It's close. It's immediate. But guess what? It's not, it doesn't appear to be. Not intimacy. So I think we could say it's there's convenience, there's proximity, there's immediacy, there's not intimacy. And I think that kind of being very specific past the 7-Eleven, I mean, that's very specific. I think it's reinforcing that it's giving a sense that this is not taking us off into some metaphorical romantic fairy tale. Hey, she lives right past the 7-Eleven. There's a sense of realism here. It's the ordinariness of the world. He didn't walk into the dive bar and saw his princess and they escaped to a beautiful world where there's rainbows, unicorns, and the butterflies. He's found her in a dive bar. She lives by the 7-Eleven, and he spent the night. It's a very realistic and ordinary approach. See, it's not fantasy. It's mundane. It's broken real life. I think that's the way to look at it. She grabbed my hand at the intersection. Now, he already told us he spent the night. So now in the verse as it continues, now it seems like they're driving to where she lives by the 7-Eleven. And she grabbed my hand at the intersection. I think there's all kinds of symbolism in that, right? And then look what he does. They're driving, they're at the intersection. She grabs his hand. She's the one who grabs his hand. And then the lyric says, I spilled my guts at the red light. Now, I think this is this is an emotionally revealing line. I think that if you're taking the song apart, and let me make it very clear, if you listen to Sally When the Wine Runs Out, again, it's all, 67 million streams on Spotify already. You're not going to catch you're not going to catch the emotions to it because it's so catchy. It's just so, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh man, turn that up. Like it's my song of the summer right now, I think in so many ways. But you have to kind of stop and go, what is being said here? And here it gets, I think, very emotional. Because she grabbed my hand at the intersection. I spilled my guts at the red light. Because I think the intersection here becomes a symbol, I think, for a moment of vulnerability. They're at the intersection, right? We already know where it's going. He's going to spend the night. Why? Proximity, immediacy, convenience. She lives by the 7-Eleven. But here, he just spills his guts right there at the intersection. And the intersection becomes a symbol for this moment of vulnerability. She reaches out physically. She's just looking, I think, for physical touch. And he responds with, all the emotions come pouring out. Like, I think she's there trying to numb what she wants, and she just wants, I guess, some kind of physical, whatever she needs, but he obviously is there for something maybe deeper. And it all happens at a red light. It's a momentary pause in movement. You're driving, you reach the intersection. Now, here's that moment of truth. She touches. He just lets all of his emotions go pouring out. He spilled all of his guts right there. And maybe he's releasing all of this, and a relationship, because it's at the crossroads, that red light's going to go boom, and it's going to move on. And I think that sets up the whole premise of the song. He is pouring out his guts. She just touching him. And then it's only going to be in a moment. And then she's driving on. She's moving on. Then we get to the chorus, Sally. That's feelings coming around. That feelings coming around. Please don't go falling in love. Then disappear when the wine runs out. There's the chorus. Sally, that feeling's coming around. Please don't go falling in love, then disappear when the wine runs out. And I think this is kind of the emotional center of the song. That line at the red light and him pouring out his guts really sets up the chorus perfectly. Sally, that feeling is coming around. So please, Sally, don't go falling in love and then just disappear when the wine runs out. Don't do that to me. It's almost like the narrator. Now remember, when songs are written, we don't know how much it actually reveals the experience or the feelings of the songwriter. Sometimes they just create a story. So we'll call this the narrator is pleading for stability. Please don't go falling in love is almost it's a paradox. It's paradoxical. Let's state it that way. It's paradoxical. Let's state it that way. He doesn't want her to pretend this is deeper, only to be like, gone. The real fear isn't being used for a night. The fear is being misled into thinking he matters, only to be discarded when the moment fades. And what's fascinating here is this is the man singing. A lot of times you can think a woman thinks all a man wants is just a little physical intimacy, and then he's going to just drop me and run. And that whole gender kind of thing is reversed. This is the man saying, hey, come on, don't pretend like you're falling in love, and then you're just going to drive right on. Because he's obviously emotionally needy because they just are at the red light headed to her apartment near the 7-Eleven. And boom, he's already told her everything, which obviously shows his great emotional need. Is she going to pick up on the emotional need, or does she not care? When the wine runs out, then becomes the metaphor for emotional withdrawal. When the thrill or numbness of the moment wears off, then what happens? The song goes on, I'll buy a couple of rounds. Don't let me think I'm enough. I'll buy a couple of rounds. Don't let me think I'm enough. The narrator offers more than he wants to, literally buying time. He'd rather be used than lied to. He's not afraid of her leaving. He's afraid of believing she won't. Don't let me think I'm enough. Hey, don't act like you're falling in love. Don't let me think I'm enough. If all you're going to do when I'm done, when I no longer have any more money to buy you drinks, when the wine's gone, you're gone, then don't let me believe that I'm enough, because clearly I'm not enough. Verse 3, I open up while she's flipping through pages, getting lonely as the day gets dark. He's trying to connect. She's distracted. Maybe it's literal, like flipping through a book or looking through her phone. Maybe it's symbolic. Her mind is just elsewhere, and the loneliness grows. Not just at nightfall, but as life itself becomes colder, darker, and emptier. If you're bored and your mind starts changing, maybe just give me a head start. He's asking for a warning. He knows she's going to leave, but he wants time to protect himself. It's the plea of someone already resigned to heartbreak. Hey, if you're bored and your mind starts changing, maybe just give me a head start. Can you just give me a little bit of a head start? Can you? Oh, and I can't read the next word because it would be considered an explicit language, but oh, no, right? Here we go again. I'm falling head first. The bridge is more chaotic and rhythmically frantic in some ways. It's the crash that follows the calm. The narrator is falling again, head first into another cycle of emotional dependence. Sally makes my head hurt becomes a central refrain, not just infatuation, but pain disguised as passion. She makes my head hurt. My head is going to explode. What is she doing? And then this line cracks me up. Cold like Minnesota, hotter than a fever. Cold, or not colder than Minnesota, cold like Minnesota. I need to stop trying to remember the lyrics and just read the lyrics. Cold, not colder like Minnesota, but cold like Minnesota, hotter than a fever. She's inconsistent. One moment, distant. The next, all-consuming. The one is like, hi. And the next, hey, baby. It's emotional whiplash. But in some ways, is the narrator addicted to this? Is he just willing to put up with it? He knows what's going to happen. He told her everything at the intersection even before they got to the apartment. He already told her everything. He obviously is concerned. Hey, don't go falling in love. Don't leave, because you're going to leave when the wine runs out. He's almost pleading, but I think he kind of knows he's getting ready to be wrecked. I think he knows he's about to be destroyed. But maybe when she turns on the fever, it makes up for the cold of Minnesota. And then he repeats the chorus, which doesn't then bring any resolution. It just loops back as if nothing has changed. The narrator is still chasing connection and fearing its disappearance. It's never resolved in the song. So now let me do this. I'm going to go read all the lyrics. Well, I met Sally at a late night dive bar. She don't dance, but she downs her drinks. Heard through a friend she's a born-again wild card. She was telling me wild things. Well, she was telling me wild things. Lives down the street past the 7-Eleven, just close enough that I spent the night. She grabbed my hand at the intersection. I spilled my guts at the red light. Sally, That feeling's coming around. Please don't go falling in love, then disappear when the wine runs out. Hey, Sally, I'll buy a couple of rounds. Don't let me think I'm enough, then disappear when the wine runs out. Well, I open up while she's flipping through pages. See, notice I open up. He's sitting there. Hey, Sally, you're this, and Sally, you're that, and Sally, and Sally, and Sally, and Sally, and Sally. And she's just flipping through pages. She's not even paying any attention. Getting lonely as the days get dark. Who's getting lonely? He's getting lonely. Sally doesn't care. If you're bored, and so now he gets scared. He's getting lonely. The days are getting dark and he's getting lonely again. And so he has to look at her like, hey, Sally, like if you're bored and your mind starts changing, could you just kind of give me a head start so I can get, out of Dodge? Can you just stop? Can you let me go? And I see the glass in your eyes, just trying to keep it alive, for crying out loud. Now, we didn't cover this. I should have added this to my notes, but I see the glass in your, like he doesn't see fire. He sees glass in her eyes, just trying to keep it alive, for crying out loud. Oh no. He can tell it's, she's just trying to keep something going. But he knows it's done. Sally, that feeling's coming around. Please don't go falling in love, then disappear when the wine runs out. Sally, I'll buy a couple of rounds. Don't let me think I'm enough, then disappear when the wine runs out. Oh, can't say the word. Here we go again. I'm falling head first. Ankles hit the too deep. Sally makes my head hurt. Heard through a grapevine, she can be a diva. Cold like Minnesota, hotter than a fever. Oh, here we go again. I'm falling head first. Ankles hit the too deep. A two-step. I'm sorry, I keep saying too deep. Two-step. Ankles hit the two-step, which makes much more sense, especially, a dive bar. Okay, all right. Sally making my head hurt. And again, he just keeps saying, Sally makes my head hurt. Sally makes my head hurt, all right? Yeah. And there's just repetition, and there's never resolution. There's nothing's resolved. Nothing's solved. And that's where he's left. What's going to happen? Well, you know what's going to happen. Sally's going to move on. She'll find someone else for a night or a week or a month. And then she'll move on. And he, who knows, is he going to find himself at another red light sharing everything? Or maybe he just gives up sharing anything. Now, what are some of the interpretations and themes here? I've kind of given enough interpretation here, but here we go. We kind of have maybe a little bit of emotional addiction and a fear of abandonment going on. I think we have that. I think the entire song is reflecting maybe the psychology of someone who would rather be hurt than be alone. Hey, like on one hand, he's scared. To me, he's so conflicted, right? He's scared of being alone, but he can't seem to stop himself, but at the same time, I think he doesn't want to be hurt. I think he makes it very clear. He knows Sally isn't safe. He heard she's a born-again wild card. He's heard the stories of the wild things. But you know what? She's the one in the dive bar. And that presence, even if it's fleeting, maybe it's more bearable than solitude and loneliness. Maybe it's not that he wants to be hurt. Maybe not that he's addicted to being hurt. Maybe he just cannot stand the solitude and loneliness. So he'll just, hey, if this is what I get, this is what I get. Oh, come on. All right, at least give me a warning, because he wants it to last as long as it can. He may know the inevitable conclusion, but hey, if it only gives you something for a little bit, that's better than nothing forever. So you have kind of an emotional addiction and a fear of abandonment going on. I think we have and I already used the phrase earlier on, emotional impermanence. Disappear when the wine runs out. It's a haunting metaphor, I think, for every emotional connection that was only real under the influence of whatever, in this case, wine, but I think the wine is a metaphor. Hey, sometimes there's an emotional connection because of whatever the influence is at that amount of time. It can be lust. It can be novelty. It can be distraction. But then it just leads to emotional impermanence. And then as I pointed out, as I covered the lyrics, there's kind of a gender reversed emotional vulnerability going on here, right? Most songs or many songs portrays the woman as the emotionally open party. Here it's the man who spills his guts. He begs for honesty. He braces for rejection while Sally holds all the power. I think it kind of, flipping this idea gives the song kind of a unique voice in maybe the pop, alternative, indie kind of world. Now, I think the song could be somewhat misunderstood, right? I think many could hear the song, Sally, When the Wine Runs Out, as just another indie song, indie alt pop song about hookup culture. But I think it's far more than that. And it definitely is not celebrating anything. I mean, it's aching. It's not endorsing detachment. I think it's almost a lament. The narrator, I think, clearly wants more. He just doesn't ever expect to get it, and not from Sally he met in the dive bar. I think there's a lot of cynicism, and I think it's buried beneath maybe some sarcasm and almost making fun of himself a little bit, maybe. And maybe that's kind of what makes the song so emotionally devastating. Now, to me, what makes the song stand out is kind of the upbeat music with the downbeat emotion. You've got upbeat music, but downbeat emotion. And I think it's a strategic contrast. I don't think the artist did this on, it was just an accident. Oh, well, this is the music we got. We just got to throw some lyrics. I think that there was a contrast going on here. We have this kind of catchy, breezy sound. I mean, you can listen to it. I mean, I say I want to play part of it, but to me, it comes across as it's light musically. It's infectious. I mean, it got stuck in my head immediately. And I think maybe the reason it's popular summer 2025 is it has a summer vibe to me. Sirius XM Hits 1, their top 40 station, they play it a lot. And every time it comes on, it just feels like, that's summer right there. That's got a summer vibe. At least to me. The beginning, maybe not so much, but I don't know. You go listen to it. I think it has bright kind of instrumentation. I think the vocals seem kind of in a playful delivery. I think the rhythm feels fun. I think it feels easygoing. I'm just trying to use words that you can tell me whether you agree or not. I think it's a song you could play on a summer drive, or maybe at a party, and I don't think anyone would even catch the emotional weight. I think they'd be like, hey, Sally. Everybody would just be singing along, right? Hey, Sally, right? Everybody, when the wine runs out, yeah, like, yay! And everybody's like having yeah, I don't think anybody would get it. But that leads to kind of an emotional dissonance, right? Beneath that bright facade, the lyrics seem to be revealing a deep sense of emotional instability, fear of abandonment, self-aware resignation. Hey, this thing's coming to an end. The narrator seems desperate not to be misled, even as he's walking willingly. He's walking obviously willingly into another one-night emotional ambush kind of thing. Upbeat music versus melancholy type lyrics. Now, this is common. Some would refer to this as kind of a form of artistic irony. It creates emotional complexity by allowing the song to operate on two different layers. The surface layer says, hey, this is fun. This is casual. The deeper layer is like, hey, I'm actually afraid of being disposable, and I'm kind of getting sick and tired of getting thrown all over the place, and my head hurts. Maybe there's kind of an emotional masking here. Maybe just as the narrator, and you can look at the lyrics and see if you think, I think in some ways, is he masking his vulnerability with sarcasm? Is he? I don't know. I do know this, the song is masking the pain with kind of a catchy pop hook. Maybe in a sense, the music is doing what the character is doing, covering sadness with performance. I don't know. I think this all works really well because it mirrors real life. We all are emotionally, are we not all emotional contradictions? We smile when we can actually be breaking down. We joke, avoid crying. We may flirt when we actually feel insecure. I think it kind of, we're walking contradictions in so many ways. And then doesn't it kind of make you feel like you're complicit? I'm here with headphones on up here in the studio, dancing around. Hey, Sally. Well, I'm listening to someone's despair. Like, doesn't it kind of make me complicit? Hey, Sally. Yeah, I'm jumping around. And the dude is like being broken into 15 million. I feel like I'm kind of complicit. I'm like, man, I'm a jerk. Like, why? I shouldn't be dancing around to this. This guy's falling apart. Like, what's wrong? I'm a monster. Play it again. Oh, I'm so horrible. Oh, okay. Stop dancing. Stop it. Sally this is bad. Okay. Oh, play it one more time. Okay. I think one time I think I hit repeat 3-4 times and I'm like, what am I doing? This is horrible. Okay. But one more time. It's emotionally resonant, but it's musically enjoyable. So then it allows people to return to it again and again and again, but then you can return to it at different emotional depths, right? You can just turn it on and go, hey, Sally, right? And just sing along. Or you can be like, man, this dude is getting broken into a million pieces. His head's going to explode. Sally, you heard him at the intersection. He poured out his guts. What are you doing? Now you're just ignoring him, looking at your phone? He's there. He's getting lonely, and now he's scared. And why are you cold as Minnesota and then hot as fever? What are you doing to the poor guy? Let the guy go. You evil woman, what are you doing? But at the same time, she's obviously, maybe she's just given up on the emotional part. And so she's just willing to be, all she needs is the physical and the physicality, and she's good. That's all she needs. She just needs that physical release. She just needs physical intimacy. She doesn't care about anything else. And maybe because she's drinking, she's downing her drinks because she's numbing all of that emotion, and she's just going to live with the physical, and that's going to be enough. And the physical seems to be less important to him as the emotional. So you got two people all looking for something, but they're looking for different things. But what they do have in common is, well, she lives close by and she's here. There's the song of the summer, 2025. Hey, Sally. What are we going to do when the wine runs out? And the wine runs out of everything. That's the one inevitable truth. Death, physical breakdown, emotional weariness, emotional numbness. The wine's going to run out. Relationships, life, your own spirituality, your zeal, the wine can run. Everything runs out. The only thing that doesn't run out would be God. But man, so who do you relate to more in the song? Come on, be honest. Come on. Who do you relate? And it doesn't matter what your gender is. This is irrelevant. Let's just remove the gender here. Are you just longing for physical touch and intimacy and pleasure and release? Or are you just dying for some kind of emotional intimacy? And what are you settling for? because sometimes the one who just wants the physical has to play the love game to get the physical, right? I mean, come on, this is an old saying, right? And it's usually reversed. This song reverses. This has been talked about in church forever, that women will use physical intimacy. They will be flirty, sensual, erotic. But what they really want is emotional intimacy. They're using the physical because they want to get the emotional, but they feel the only way they can do so is by using their beauty and their sensuality to get the other. Men will typically use the emotional intimacy because they think that's the only way they're going to be able to get the physical intimacy. So the man really wants the physical. The woman really wants the emotional. She's using the physical to get the emotional. And the man is using the emotional to get the physical. And then when they both come together and get it, they get whatever they think they're going to get. Well, the man, now he has that physical intimacy, so he doesn't feel like he needs to use the emotional intimacy and the emotional vulnerability anymore. He doesn't have to do all of that because now he's got the physical. And then the woman is like, well, wait a minute. I didn't really want the physical as much as I wanted the emotional. And so now you've got two people. He still wants the physical, but he's not using the emotional to get it now because he thinks he should just get it because now they're in a relationship and she's no longer being all sensual and flirty because she just wanted the emotional. And now you got two people who used two different things to get two different things, and now you end up with both people not getting what they want, and there's your beginning of relationship problems. She now feels the wine ran out. There's no emotional depth here. There's no emotional connection here. All he wants is my body. And then he comes along going, well, what happened to her? She was all flirty and would dress up and look beautiful, and now she could care less. Yeah, because you stopped using the emotional, which is what you, and then that ends up, dun, 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 divorce court or therapy or couples retreat. Now, I'm not saying it always plays out that way. I'm not. And that's one thing I do love about the song because it reverses that. But you still have the same idea. He clearly wants the emotional. She just wants the physical. Once she gets the physical and she's satisfied for a while, then she's detached. She doesn't care. And he's still pouring out his guts. He's sitting there. You can just see the scene. She's sitting there just scrolling through her phone and he's like, oh, baby, Sally, I love you so much. And you're the most beautiful thing. And oh, I would die for you. And she's like, yeah, oh, this is a funny TikTok. And he's just like, oh no, it's happening again. Hey, Sally. What happens when the wine runs out? Well, there's the song of the summer for 2025. Now, not the song. It's a song of the summer 2025. We'll declare what the song of the summer is when we get to Labor Day. We still got a ways to go. And you say, how are you going to make that decision? Well, what I'll probably do is I'll talk about whichever one my favorite is, which now you know. Hey, Sally, when the wine runs out, is my favorite currently. I mean, there's a lot up there. So don't think this is my only favorite. Well, many of the songs I reviewed, I love very much as well. All right. So, but it's up there, but we'll determine it by chart placement, how many weeks on the chart, streams, popularity. We'll just kind of put a lot of factors together and then we'll say, here's what everyone says and here's what I felt. And then if it's two different songs, then we'll just do 2 episodes. But there you have it. All right. Now the song's yours. Go listen to Sally when the wine runs out on your favorite music streaming service right now. All right. God bless.